If you are feeling overwhelmed by all of your stuff, then this video is going to be for you. We are going to declutter, so whatever space you need to declutter today, I hope that this video gives you the motivation you need to tackle it. And also, if you are getting ready to move, this is also another great video. We are having a goal today to reduce her stuff by at least 50% because she is getting ready to move. She's going to try and fit everything she has into a car, her car. And so we are on a mission. We are on a mission to declutter and reduce the amount of items that she owns. Right now, we're just starting out by going through her shoes. We're just laying them out so that she can see everything that she has. And you want to pull out all the shoes that you can because then you can fully see how many shoes you have. And then it's a lot easier to realize what your favorites are and to only choose those, especially if you're trying to downsize. Make sure you're sticking to your favorites and letting someone else use the ones that you are not using and that you don't need anymore. And it's so fun to be able to bless someone else's life and also have that space cleared. So as you can see, we have laid out all of the shoes. We're just going to quickly go through and pick her favorites. And so we have this bin here that we decided to put the shoes in, and this was our container. And so whatever did not fit into this container had to go. So we have this box to put donations in, and then as you can see, the box is filling up, so she is having a little bit of an easier time passing on other items because if it's not a favorite, it's going. So here are all the shoes we were able to declutter, and it feels so good. We're just going to put all the items we're decluttering in that corner. And then next we are moving on to her clothes. So we are going to stick to her shirts right now. And it's super helpful to stick to one specific category so that you don't overwhelm yourself. So right now we are just pulling out all her shirts so that she can see what she has. And again, we're going to use the container method. She gets to choose her favorites, and it just makes it a lot easier when you're picking out your favorites and the container fills up. Then you know that you have the amount that you need, and those other ones weren't actually favorites, and they're also shirts that she wasn't using. And she wanted to go away from black shirts, so we got rid of those pretty easily, and here's what we were left with. And so we were able to go through that category and look at all the items we were able to declutter. That was awesome. And then we moved on to the next category. As you can see, I'm just laying everything out so that we can fully see what we have. So these are her pants, and then we also have some swimsuits. And so we're just going to go through this category. And then as we go through, we are decluttering items. So this box she had, we're going to be putting items that we are decluttering in. So any pants that she does not use, does not like, if they don't fit, if they don't feel good, if they don't flatter her body, we are just going to declutter them. And so that's what we were sticking to. We want her to be able to enjoy everything that she has. And it's so much easier to enjoy what you have when you have less, because you're able to fully enjoy those items and you're able to find them easier, and it's a lot easier to maintain less and to be able to keep those items nice. And when you have less, a lot of times you'll invest in better quality items, and as so she goes forward, if she needs any items, she'll just be able to make sure that she is sticking to what she likes. So making sure that those items feel good, making sure it's the color that she wants, and so it's going to also help her as she goes forward with any purchases or anything else that she might bring into her home. And look at all of the items that we were able to declutter that she no longer has to worry about, maintain, and that's just less on her plate. And it is so nice to have less and to be able to fill that space, because when your space is full and you don't have any room to breathe and you can't really move things around very easily, it is so hard, and it definitely takes a toll on your mental health. So if you've been struggling with trying to declutter certain areas, definitely trying to find your favorites or maybe using the container method are great methods to be able to help you reduce the amount of inventory that you have. And then also make sure to keep your goal right in front of you so that you can stay motivated. So whether it be you are preparing for a move and you do not want to move certain items to your new house, you don't want to have to worry about packing it, you don't want to have to worry about storing it, just let those items go that really are not going to fit in your future life. So if you don't see yourself loving and using these items at your new place, just let them go. Let them go to someone else, because you can have everything that you want, but when you start adding the extras, it just can overwhelm you and stress you out. And so just being able to lighten that burden and get rid of things that you don't actually love, knowing that, oh, if I let go of these items, there's someone who may actually be able to love this item, use this item, and get so much joy out of this item. Whereas for me, it is just a burden. It's just adding to the amount of stuff that I have to maintain in my home. It's making it so hard to be able to keep a clean home, because when you have one item that you aren't really using and you're like, oh, but it's fine, I'll just keep it. One item of clutter attracts another. So if you have a big bulky dresser that you aren't actually using, that you could be passing on, that big bulky dresser might have items that you seem to just set down and you'll deal with that item later. And then you'll just continue to set things on it, or maybe put things in it. And all of a sudden, this dresser that is meant to hold clothes or books or whatever you use your dresser for, it has now become an area that is cluttered and is so easy to make it feel like you have no control over this space because it is constantly cluttered. So if you're able to identify that, then you're able to realize that, okay, maybe I actually don't need this big bulky dresser because I'm not really using it and it just attracts clutter. So then you can really look at what's there, see if you actually need anything, declutter that, and then also declutter that dresser that you aren't using. Or this can also go for different side tables, it can go for rugs, it can go for pillows, certain things that are adding more to your stress level than benefiting you. Those are the items that need to go. And so for me, I actually decided recently that I was going to put my throw pillows up. I only have 4 in my living room. I put them up in the living room in this closet that we have, our coat closet, and it has actually been so peaceful. I really do love these pillows, and so I will pull them out every once in a while. But for me, just putting those away was so peaceful for me to not have to keep on leaning down and picking them up off the floor, because my girls would just throw them off and throw them on the floor. And so I felt like I was picking them up all day, and especially being super pregnant at this moment, I decided that it was better for me to do that. So you may find that for yourself, there are certain things that you can put away, and then at a certain point, if that item isn't really adding value, it may be time just to let it go. And so just look around your home and just identify what's actually working, and if it's not working, it's time to go. Another thing, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your clutter or you are getting ready for a big move, is to realize the stage of life that you're in and to declutter for that stage of life. Because if we are keeping items for other stages of life, then it may be what is holding us down and holding us back and making us feel very chaotic and not in control of our space. And so maybe you were an avid book reader one time and you have tons of books, but you just don't find yourself having time to be able to read those books. Or maybe you found that it's a lot easier to listen to an audiobook because maybe you have kids and it's kind of hard to be able to just have some time to just read a book. Now, I do think books are super fun, but just being able to be realistic about your time and what you're actually going to be able to use. Because there were tons of books that we are going through, as you can see, that we were able to declutter because she wasn't reading them and she wasn't going to read them anytime soon. And so we're able to pass them on to someone who's actually able to use them and love them. So this pile is the pile she's keeping, and these books are the ones that are going. And have you ever tried to look for something and there's just so many options, and then you go to something else and there's not as many options? It is a lot easier to actually find what you want when there's less options. So when those options that you have are reduced, but those are also your favorites, that is the most ideal place, I feel, for anything. So like your favorite milk, if it's obvious, okay, that's my favorite milk, that's my milk of choice, or whatever you use. I don't know if that was a very good analogy, but essentially just being able to find what you want, what you're looking for, and not feeling overwhelmed by the overwhelming amount of options that we have. Because if you look at everything that you have, especially if you're trying to do a hobby and you have a million hobbies and you just kind of get overwhelmed or overstimulated and you just sit back and you just get on your phone, all of a sudden all these hobbies that are like, hey, Are you gonna come back to me? Then it's just a lot harder, and it can just kind of be something that also adds more burden to you. So just being able to simplify and be realistic about your stage of life if you're actually going to use these items. So as you can see, we found another box of books. And so really being able to identify in the next year, am I going to use this item? And if not, then it is time to pass it on, especially if you have been overwhelmed and you really want a clean house. Having a clear state of mind and being able to have that peace and focus is worth so much more than having all of these items. So that peace of mind is so priceless. So just being able to declutter items, obviously there are a couple things here and there that you may want to keep for other reasons, but for the most part, things that you can get super easy, if you aren't going to use it in the next year, I would just pass it on, let someone else use it, because items decay and just break down over time, and it just makes it super hard when you are trying to save all of these items for someday to be able to have a peaceful home, because these items are something that you are trying to clean, something that you're trying to remember that you have. And I feel like someone who words this beautifully is the minimal mom, Dawn. She is just so amazing. She has been able to minimize her home, and she has 4 beautiful kids, and she has been able to maintain that, and I absolutely love her, and she has been so valuable, and I've loved watching her videos and getting motivation from her. And so when you're decluttering, and especially, I'm going to keep on saying this before move, even if you're not going to move, it is so amazing to be able to declutter your home as if you were going to move, because the ideal state is what we always see ourselves in when you move to a new place. Oh, this is going to be the ideal state. And if your home feels just super cluttered, and then all of a sudden you get ready to move and your house is all staged and it's all ready, then that actually might be what you need, is be able to declutter, remove stuff from the space. Obviously you want to still function for your family, so making sure that comes as a priority, but letting go of the stuff that honestly isn't adding to your life, and letting go of it would make your home function so much better. Look at all the items that we were able to declutter. It made it so that the space works and looks so much better. And so just letting go of these items, we're able to free up her time, her energy, and her space. And you can do it too. I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.
For more motivation to take control of your space, watch my decluttering playlist. And also don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. And you can also follow me on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.